Well, hello and welcome back. And my name is Colin and I am the creator behind the Grey Wolf Bike YouTube channel where I film mountain biking all over North America. In this series, we're going to be reviewing RV trailers through the lens of a mountain biker, which is why it's aptly titled A Mountain Biker's Perspective. So if you've clicked on this video because you simply want to learn more about the trailer that we're going to be featuring, then stick with me because you don't have to be a mountain biker, but you can be interested in multiple different activities, but you may find interest and value in this particular video because we're going to go into details about the trailer, about its features and benefits, and how they would apply to somebody like a mountain biker, and you can sort of then interpret that through your own specific lens. So we're here at Woody's RV in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We're going to go check out the trailer right now. And yeah, I'm really excited about this one for a particular reason, which I'll share in just a second. So come on with me, let's go. So here we are around back, and behind me you can see the piece de resistance, the Flagstaff E-Pro. And I want to add a quick caveat before I introduce who's going to be helping us on our tour today. And that is that the E-Pro actually was the start of my own consumer RV shopping journey. I was camping with my mom, shout out to her channel, Kathy Goes Camping on YouTube. And we were just walking around the campground and I saw the E-Pro. One thing that originally caught my eye was the really cool window up in the front, and that'll become more prominent as we do the tour, especially from the inside. But the E-Pro looked like a trailer that would really appeal to me, again, through the lens of a mountain biker. But we'll get into all those details and specifics, but I just thought I'd show or share with you that personal connection to this particular trailer. So I'm going to turn the camera around to...
Hi, my name's Craig Gunderson. I work for Woody's RV here in Edmonton. And yeah, I'm happy to show Colin around.
Nice, nice. So what model specifically is this one?
So this is the Flagstaff E-Pro 19 FBS. It's a 19-foot floor plan. Total length of this unit is about 20 feet 2 inches. That's from bumper to hitch. And yeah, it's got one slide, got solar prepping. I mean, it's got bells and whistles galore.
Definitely, definitely. You've already hit on the solar. We'll maybe save that as we kind of work our way around the trailer. But
sure.
I think, for anybody in like the mountain biking or outdoor recreating space, having the ability to do some like extended boondocking or dry camping or off-grid or backcountry, whatever we want to call it, is going to be really important. So having that it already has hardware equipped, and I think I even see here on the side we'll get to some prep for additional hardware in the future if you want to for expandability. I think that's really important and key to this this whole series in general. So yeah, let's start right here. So this is, I know, something that we're seeing a lot more on trailers. The griddle for outdoor cooking, basically.
Yes.
Now it does have an indoor kitchen, but would this, it doesn't look like, no, it would store, I guess, presumably up in the front storage compartment?
That's exactly where it's, it has a little storage case that you can slide it into as well, because this is removable. It comes right off the side of the trailer. Okay. There's this little hanging bracket here. And then it also comes with a little prep table as well, so you can actually have your burgers or whatever
that's cool.
that you can remove and put on there as well.
Nice, nice. So let's just start right here as well.
Yeah.
So, again, something that that's really important to cover, again, from that mountain biker's perspective, is that often, our trailheads are located, quite far up for service roads, which might also be far enough that it allows people to, camp legally in those areas.
For sure.
So the ability to get up those Forest Service roads reliably and safely, I think is important to see that there is, an off-road equipped tire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it is like a 4-ply Westlake 15-inch tire. It does have a little bit higher clearance than some other trailers this size, so it is more off-road capable than some of the other units on the market.
Nice. And actually I see that there's a spare here too as well, so undermount spare, which is cool.
It is, and it's the exact same tire as the rest of the unit, so there's no mismatching and that type of chassis.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Something else I've talked about in the other videos in this series as well, and I'll highlight it again here. So this trailer is going to be equipped with a torsion axle as opposed to a leaf spring axle. Now, on the road, that's going to translate into like really good road compliance, and going up those Forest Service roads, that's going to be much better because torsion axles, unlike a leaf spring, even though it has this solid bar that connects from one side to the other, the tire articulates on, let's see if I can get you a shot in here, there's going to be like a little bit of an arm there, if you can see that. And so that arm is what's going to actually rotate, not this whole axle assembly. So in essence, you actually have independent suspension from left and right. So one criticism that small single axle trailers get is that they tend to be quite lively when you tow. So they, if you hit any sort of like road feature or expansion crack or anything like that, they can tend to hop around, especially if it's asymmetrical, like one on one side, where a leaf spring axle, that the axle is going to be suspended and both wheels will be connected. It can actually end up transferring and translating some of those road features from one side to the other, which again sort of equates to a bit of a bouncier ride. So seeing this is not only good from just road compliance, but also really good for off pavement, off-road, Forest Service road, which is again kind of the areas that we'd expect to be taking this trailer. So yeah. Nailed it. Perfect. Yeah, making our way forward. Actually, I'll point this out. Oh, so that's the gas hookup, I guess, for the griddle, and then you could just swap that out for like a barbecue.
Exactly. Yeah, you can use anything with a quick connect propane. You can even plug in like a portable propane fire place if you want.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Do anything you want with that thing.
You know what? I'm going to jump back in. That is such a smart idea. Having a portable fire pit, because I think they are still legal.
Yeah, even in fire bans.
Even in fire bans. Yes. If you live anywhere in North America, you have probably experienced this summer, this is being recorded in August of 2023, you have probably experienced some smoky skies at some point, or at least seen the news of fires going. In fact, Hawaii right now is like all on fire.
Brutal.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So, it really, like, I'll speak for myself, but having a fire when you're camping is like kind of intrinsic to that experience. So this summer and last summer actually been very odd to not have that. So the fact that you can hook up a portable, is that something that you guys might be able to have even at your parts department?
100% we do. We've got 3 or 4 different makes and models of them.
There you go, Woodies. Yeah. So yeah, love that. That's a super great idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, circling back here, so we've just got our standard pass-through storage. Actually, it's a good size for a trailer this size too.
It is. It's I think it's about 18 cubic feet in here for storage, which is for a trailer this size, it's big.
Definitely. And I'm actually going to jump ahead already, because right here next to the storage compartment door, we see the solar on the side. So I'll actually, if you want, I'll let you explain what this is for.
Yeah, so this unit actually comes already rooftop solar equipped. There's already a 200-watt solar panel mounted on the roof with a built-in 1,000-watt inverter. So that'll help keep your batteries trickle charged when you're doing any type of off-grid camping. But if you were finding that you weren't quite getting the solar charge that you're wanting, you can get a removable portable panel. Just plug it straight into the side here, and that's already going to be wired to your battery system as well, just for that extra charge boost.
Nice. And that's really good, not only if you want to run like multiple or really large capacity deep cycle batteries, but also you might be camping in like a partially shaded area, so you can have like a portable panel that you can then orient specifically and sort of track the sun across the sky, so you can maintain the best solar optimal charging. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. And actually, one thing I really want to point out too as well, because this is something, again, when I was walking around the campground, I first saw the ePro, really attracted to me. It's the frameless windows.
Oh, the tinted frameless windows are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, not to take anything away, we've got a Grand Design Transcend Explorer behind us. This is your traditional style RV window. The frameless windows, I mean, even on Grand Design products, you typically don't see until you're in like the Solitudes.
Exactly, that's the only time you do see them is in the Solitudes. That's just the luxury top end fifth wheels.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is something that I have said in other videos as well, is that sometimes small trailers, historically, in my personal and most humble opinion, have been kind of seen as an opportunity to sort of produce a budget product. And just because it's small doesn't mean it should be budget. So seeing something like this, that's a premium feature. Actually here, there's a Solitude right behind me if you can see that. I might need to punch in after the fact. That has the frameless windows. That trailer is is 100 and something?
170-ish.
170, there you go.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're seeing the exact same windows on this trailer, to me really speaks to it, because you might be, as we are in this case, looking intentionally for a smaller trailer in that, here's a great segue, in that 7-foot wide chassis category for a particular reason. So this trailer is going to be a 7-foot wide chassis.
Yes.
And that's going to be important for, again, us mountain bikers or other outdoor recreationalists, because if we're heading up Forest Service roads, they tend to be quite narrow. Often they are old logging roads that have just been sort of turned over for public use. So a smaller trailer, unlike an 8 or even like an 8.5, like a 102 class trailer, this is going to be able to get you up into, much more remote areas where, maybe there's some switchback, corners that are a bit tighter. You're less concerned about, trees and overall road width. So I think 7-foot class. This is why as far as I know, every trailer in this series except for the Hike 100 has been a 7-foot wide trailer for that exact reason. So, yeah. Actually, this is cool to see. I don't mean to keep jumping in, but not only is it a power jack, but it's got the light on the front.
It does.
Yeah.
Just in case you're doing anything, in dusk or dawn,
Yep.
give you that extra lighting when you're doing your hookups or changing out your propane.
Nice. And this has that new style propane cover, the one that's like, I think you can kind of make that out. It's a bit softer, more compliant, a lot less likely to crack in our Canadian temperatures up here.
Yes.
Dual or single 20-pound?
Dual 20 pounds, so 40
Nice.
pounds of propane.
Oh, that's really good, actually. Yeah, really good indeed.
Yeah, also right behind there, you do have
Right.
a double battery box.
Okay.
For your, I do always recommend 2 batteries on these things.
Right.
And AGM batteries at that, or lithium.
Yeah.
They just accept charge and solar charge that much better than a standard lead acid battery.
100%, 100%. And it's, on my rooftop tent series, I've been running a flooded lead acid 105. And I think I've mentioned in that video, I'll mention it again here as well. When you're dealing with a flooded lead acid battery, you actually only get 50% the capacity that it's rated for, because that's usable capacity, where a lithium ion you can drain all the way to 0. And so if let's say, for example, it's a flooded lead acid battery at 100 amp hours, you'll get 50 usable. If it's a lithium ion at 100 amp hours, you'll get all 100. AGM, I think, sits maybe somewhere in the middle.
It's like 60 to 70%.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool. So it's also really nice to see that they have a dual battery case here on the front, because I'll admit a lot of the time you'll only get a single. There may not even be room depending on when they put fuses. People reluctantly end up having to wire into your interior, which is involving, drilling and punching holes, et cetera, et cetera. So it's the small features, but this is the stuff that I really like to see. So yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
One thing that I will point out, and I always want to be honest, in like sort of the pros and cons, positives, negatives, etc. So one pro is the magnetic holdbacks on these doors. This is really nice to see. I don't want, maybe con isn't the right word, but just contextual feature is that this is going to be a 1/2-inch door. So it's not going to be the full 1 inch, so it won't quite have the same say structural rigidity or insulating properties as a 1 inch, but it's also like, this is where trailer manufacturers have to weigh the features and to maybe hit certain price points or weight category. Sorry, thank you as well. Yeah, so it just worth pointing out nonetheless. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not at all worried about city water and cable hookup, but I do want to point out that this particular trailer has your standard gravity fill.
Yeah.
So get yourself a water tote, because if you do plan on spending multiple days off grid, you're going to be standing there doing gravity. And that's not a criticism against this trailer. There are trailers probably 2 and 3 times this cost. They're going to have the exact same gravity fill system.
Yep.
So again, just worth pointing out, because thus far, I have not seen any trailers in this category or in this series that feature a Nautilus system, but it is something that I implore and plead every manufacturer, whether that's Flagstaff or Winnebago or anybody else that we've seen here in this series, to really strongly consider putting Nautilus systems on there. There's multiple different versions, like the P2, 3, and 4. And the reason being is that those Nautilus systems offer the ability for you to siphon from a tank. So in theory, you could, throw a hose off the side of a bridge into, some clean mountain water and suck it straight in. Although I'm sure the pump's not up to that task. But in actuality, if you were to bring like a portable water container and fill that up from wherever your clean potable source is, you could suck that in. So this is a message, a cry for all manufacturers.
I like it.
I'll use whatever leverage that I have to get the industry to make what I want. So
I like your style.
yeah. So Schwintek slide.
Schwintek slide, you got it.
We've seen these on, I think, just about every trailer in this series so far. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I think a big reason why they do that is for clearance over the wheel wells. Is that right?
That's exactly it. And usually, typically you'll find for like a rack and pinion style slide, it's more of like a weight bearing. Whereas this is just your, I believe it's the dinette in the slide here. Okay. So it's not really overly heavy. So the Schwintek slide is more than capable of handling it.
Yeah, something that I think we talked about off camera actually is that Schwintek's can and do have a bit of a mixed reputation. I do plan on doing a video on that in the future. So if you aren't already subscribed, please consider doing so, because I think it's really important that we kind of like, just deal in facts, and I think that video, when I do have the time to make it, it's going to be really helpful for a lot of people. So and put anything at ease. So if you've heard bad things about Schwintek, personally speaking, I would say hold on to that for now until that video comes out. So yeah. One thing I am seeing, and I did see on the other side as well, so we do have our dump valves for the fresh, and it looked like the black and gray on the other, back here.
Yeah, right at the very rear of the unit.
There we go. Of course, I don't know why I was thinking it was at the front. They are exposed, so if you do plan on doing any freezing temperature camping, this is a potential spot where you can encounter some challenges, aka this freezing and not being able to dump your black and gray tanks. So just be mindful of that. I'm sure it'll be, you'll be okay if you're sort of, coastal camping in the winter where you're fluctuating around freezing. But, if you're planning on doing any minus 20 Celsius, then I wouldn't bank on those actuating maybe the way that you want them to. But
in minus 20 for sure, you would need some external heat or skirting package, that type of thing, to make it work. True.
Actually, skirting's a really good idea. Yeah, because that would be fairly easily integrated. And actually, before I jump right back, I did actually do a pre-walkthrough just to make sure I was looking at the right trailer. I saw this. I've never seen this on any other trailer, and I absolutely love it.
So do I.
Yeah, you as well. Have you seen this on any other trailer?
I have not.
No.
But how many times have you going over a speed bump or, some uneven terrain, and you get that huge scrape at the back of the unit and completely bend your scissor jack and it's no longer going to work for you? Yep. That's pretty much what that's there for, is to protect that.
100%.
Yeah.
I think that's so smart, because the cost of, adding this in from a manufacturing and, that cost being distributed onto the consumer, minimal. This is just
cents to dollars.
Yep. The cost of saving you from having to replace a welded on scissor jack, or even just the pain and agony of being on a trip and not being able to steady your trailer, priceless.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like this. This is the stuff that I really want to point out in these videos, because I think that's so smart.
It is.
And so practical. And again, especially if you're going into the areas that, we're talking about, a lot of these sort of decommissioned forest service road, old logging roads, there's going to be a lot of articulating. So especially with, some of the steep approaches, the place I was camping actually last month had a 10-degree approach angle. So something like this, might just save the back end of your trailer.
Yeah.
And actually, while we're down here too as well, I'm going to point out there's not really any exposed plastic skirting. There is, this nice, I think this is a metal product, metal skirting.
I think it's more
aluminum-y.
Is it? Aluminum-y.
Yeah. But you don't have that big Euro style like plastic skirting along the bottom where, all it's going to take is one stick to come up and, and shatter the whole thing. So, again, just really smart. Before we move on though, outdoor shower. So
yes,
an outdoor shower can be used for just about anything, but I particularly want to point these out in context of cleaning off a mountain bike. If you're doing kind of any, day-to-day trail maintenance, if you just want to, clean the mud off, relubricate your chain, etc., set that to hot and just melt off all the dirt and everything. So Yeah, I would have loved to have had that in Bellingham in the wintertime.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll make our way around the back. And again, I said I had a quick look. I didn't have a close look. And so you're seeing my reaction to this for the first time. And I cannot tell you how relieved I am that this trailer has a 2-inch receiver in the back. So
300-pound weight capacity.
300.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, that's really quite a lot because I have heard other trailers quoted in like the 120 to 150.
Yeah.
So 300 is really exceptionally good. If you haven't quite figured out why this is so important, it is because next time you go camping or looking at purchasing an RV trailer, ask yourself where your bikes are going to go. You may have seen some people with these like frame mounted ones. There's a brand called Arvika. We've been there, we have done that. We have modified it with, custom extension tubes so that it clears, the pickup box when you're trying to take a tight turn. We're over it. It doesn't exist anymore. Myself, as you probably know, or may or not know actually, so over on the Grey Wolf Bike channel, my primary channel, I have featured a number of videos from a manufacturer called Kuat, and I absolutely love Kuat racks. Worth mentioning though, Kuat does make a couple of bike racks like my Piston Pro X. There is a review video out on that channel already, and that is actually rated and certified for use behind an RV. Not all racks are going to be rated for use behind an RV, and the reason being is that this is kind of like being in the back of the school bus.
Yeah.
So things can get pretty bouncy back here very quickly, and so you want to have a good quality bike rack that's going to be capable of handling that. And I cannot confirm nor deny that my mom for the last 6 or 7 years has been using a Kuat bike rack on the back of her RV that actually doesn't have that Kuat endorsement, and we've had no problem. So I think just testament to the Kuat brand. But yeah, so being able to put your mountain bikes back here, or again, I'm trying to keep this open if you're not a mountain biker, but maybe you want to put an accessory rack back here where you could put a generator, like a small one of those briefcase generators. You could put some storage bins for your stand-up paddle boards, like whatever activities you want to do. Again, I'm really excited about this trailer because, as I mentioned earlier, just because it's a small trailer doesn't mean that it should be lacking these features. This historically has been very common on like much larger RVs, as that increases in price point. So the fact that we see that here is just, big
Top
deal.
notch.
100%.
Yep.
Classic ladder to the roof. I'm sure full walk-on roof up there.
It is, yeah. 350-pound weight capacity up on the roof.
Cool.
It's also pre-wired for backup camera.
Nice.
If you wanted to get that done, it's pretty much plug and play. Takes you longer to bust out a ladder to install it than it is to actually install it.
Yeah, and it is actually nice to see like a true genuine bolt-on ladder here too as well versus some of those telescopic jobs.
Yes.
I mean, decisions, and actually I'll point this out too as well, but I can see a Max Air with a travel cover too as well, which is really cool. That's a great quality product that we'll see once we get inside.
Yeah.
Which there's a good segue. So heading inside, Lippert Steady Steps.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of these. I think universally most people are. The only downside or criticism I've ever heard lodged against these is that if you're parking, in a standard parking space, that it can take up extra room. Move 6 inches over and you're fine.
Yeah.
Friction hinge door, which is nice for windy environments, and it does have a hold back too as well. I can see there, which is nice. And actually, oh wow, okay. Geez, this trailer is really keyless entry.
Yep.
So this is actually something that have been researching myself over the past week. If you're going mountain biking, for example, what do you not want to keep? Pointy objects in your pockets. So, if you're going swimming or paddleboarding or whatever, having the key to your trailer in your pocket that maybe could potentially fall out in the bottom of the lake. Standard, this, honestly, it's a good trailer.
It is. And then even the screen door is on a slingshot.
Oh, that's cool.
So it kind of auto closes for you when you open it and close, which is really nice.
Nice.
Kind of neat feature there.
Yeah, if you're camping with say a pet or something like that, and that's a good way to keep Fido from, escaping into the great outdoors.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. After you, actually, if you'd like to,
right,
to go in there first.
So first thing you see when you walk in is your 12-volt fridge and microwave right on the left.
Nice.
So yeah, 12 volts, so it does run off your batteries when you're doing off-grid camping. The nice thing about having a 12-volt fridge opposed to having the gas and electric fridges is the extra depth of storage that you get in.
True, true. I've heard it quoted as much as an extra 20% in terms of storage capacity because you don't have that compressor in the back, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
As well as they cool down about 3 times faster than the
Seriously?
standard propane fridge.
Interesting. In one other video, in the Winnebago Micro Mini 2108 FBS video, it was also mentioned the replacement cost if you ever had a issue with your dual fuel, like your 12-volt gas fridges, is in like the thousands, whereas this is much less. I think almost 25%.
At
less,
least
something like
25%
that.
half. So
Yeah.
up to half the cost.
Yeah, yeah, very good. Yeah, nice microwave. Let's do it. Interior. Oh, actually, that's a really good size. Sometimes you open the door and then there's 4 inches of wall there.
Yeah. Next thing you see definitely is the door into the bathroom.
Yeah, it's always tricky in trailers to try to capture the full experience. But what I'm going to point out already, this is huge for this size of trailer.
It is.
Really quite nice.
And if you want a comparable shot, I'm 6'3".
6'3", okay.
And I can almost stand straight up in the skylight.
Yes.
But
yeah,
a little tight for me, but
do you know what? I mean, at the end of the day, like just as a quick rinse off, I don't see it. Yeah, there being no issue for sure.
Yep.
Something else I've seen in other trailers as well is no medicine cabinet, but this one has it. And something that I've actually learned through doing this series that we were actually speaking about, Craig and I off camera, is the quality. Now, quality is tricky sometimes to come across on camera. But opening this up, you can see it's got like the full residential style hinges on the back, and I can tell you just opening and closing this, there was one other trailer that actually had to lift up to like get it to close. It's just when you come and see this in person, this is the kind of stuff that you'll really pick up on, and I can tell you that already, like this is a well built trailer. So yeah, and I absolutely have no horse in this race. So little storage back there, that's all right. Good for some extra bathroom tissue.
Nice thing about this unit too as well, if you want to take a picture inside the shower, it's got the AquaView shower miser. I don't know if anything you've shown before has it, but what that does is it internally circulates the water temperature to get up to the desired temperature before it starts coming out, and you're not wasting as much water.
Absolutely, that's a really good point. So energy conservation and water conservation when you're doing any kind of dry camping is going to be paramount. So what Craig was saying is that so this blue elbow will actually end up turning like a whitish gray color once the hot water starts circulating through it. And so this is your recirc, and then you would just simply open it up and then allow it to come out. So what this means is that you don't have to wait until you've purged through all of the cold water between the actual hot water tank and the faucet here. You can just simply have it in the recirc function. It will recirculate it right back into your fresh, as opposed to going down the drain into your gray. And then again, just give it a flip, and now it will go through. So you can be really conservative with your water usage for extended camping. Bit of a specific question. It's okay if you don't know. Freshwater tank capacity on this?
39 gallons.
39?
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge for a trailer
For a
this size.
20-footer, monstrous.
Seriously, that's huge.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, kudos. Actually, and this is really nice to see here too as well. A little nice light for the entry step. Ducted heater by the looks of things.
It is ducted, yep. Ducted heater and air conditioning throughout.
Nice.
It does have your carbon monoxide propane detector down there beside your converter.
Classic.
As well as
integrated bottle opener, because
Yes.
guaranteed someone's going to forget that. This is the small details. Like, this costs money. I mean, there's the actual product, the part itself, there's the wiring, the fact that they even considered this. Yeah, details. I love the details.
This particular unit also comes equipped with your tire pressure and temperature monitoring system.
Oh, it comes with it?
It does.
Oh, wow. This is, correct me if I'm wrong, this is like a $300 or $400 part, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're buying it aftermarket, for sure.
Wow, that's really good.
It's really nice, just pretty much plug and play, where you plug the module in, it's just in your front storage compartment.
Yep.
And then you do have the extra LCD screen for when you're driving and whatnot.
Yeah, that was in there as well. Nice single square stainless sink. I have mentioned in other videos, I'm a bit critical when it comes to round sinks. They're kind of trendy right now from like a farmhouse aesthetic. Try fitting a cutting board in them. Doesn't really work. So this is nice to see. Really good overhead compartment storage here too as well. So this is going to be, bowls, cups, plates on one side, and then maybe, pantry storage on the other. Yeah. Really nice range. Solid cast iron. Oh, okay. Yeah. This actually, and then I think these will go red once you turn it into the, that's the igniting.
Yes,
yeah, there
exactly.
it goes. Yeah, so that way you can always tell if you have a burner or an element still on. All right, so this tour is apparently going in no particular order, but that's kind of consistent with the rest of my videos that I've done. But one of the features that was really important to me as a consumer when I was looking for a trailer is a true residential queen mattress. Something you will see that's quite common in the RV industry is what's called an RV queen. So a residential queen is 60 inches by 80 inches, or 60 by 80. A RV queen is going to be 60 by 74. I don't know how the wizards at ePro managed to figure this out, especially in an east-west configuration. This is a true 60 by 80 queen mattress. What'll happen a lot of the time is, if you go and you look at RVs, people will lay down on a shorter RV queen, like the 60 by 74, and like, oh, this is sufficient. The thing that you're missing, though, is pillows. So they'll put their head all the way at the top, and they'll say, oh, I've got plenty of toe room. But actually, once you have a pillow in there, your whole body shifts down. So I'm 5'9", and I have actually experienced, having slept on RV queens, often is my toes will be sort of hanging off the end. On a 60 by 80, this is exactly the same size that you're going to have at home. So kudos to them. Granted, that does mean that you're going to lose a little bit of kind of like side space if you're looking for like end tables and whatnot. But there's lots of aftermarket solutions. I've seen people, do hang netting. And again, in an east-west configuration on a 7-foot wide chassis, they're using every centimeter of this trailer. But that also, again, does mean that, someone will inevitably be sort of climbing in and climbing over. So just worth mentioning, but like this, in my opinion, is it's a big feature. Now, speaking of netting, we do have some storage up top here, which is nice. This is going to be, you're going to want to get comfortable with like rolling your t-shirts and shorts and stuff because there is not, oh no, actually, what am I talking about? Right behind me, here we go.
A little bit of a wardrobe.
There we go, yeah. So do we have any hanging rods? Yes, we do, yeah. So it's the sideways style one here. So your t-shirts and things would kind of go in this way. That's actually a really good size. You could probably even come up with some other like custom configurations and get a lot more use out of this space.
You could put a couple of hang rods in there with some storage bins. There's definitely a lot of options you could do.
Yeah, exactly. Even on the door, I've seen people do some things to hang on the door. So this is going to be your wardrobe, and then maybe smaller items go up top. What else can we talk about in here?
Just the one little button down here. That's your inverter remote control.
Right.
So you can turn that on and off right from the side of your bed, which is kind of a nice little feature.
That's smart. So correct me if I'm wrong here, but the importance of that is that if you are running off of battery, your inverter is going to be running all of the time.
Correct.
So when you go to sleep, you don't want to be consuming energy with your inverter not powering anything. So you just kind of roll over, press the button, and then...
Exactly. Start to conserve some of that battery power.
Right. Oh, cool. Nice big drawer here. I'm glad I actually crouched down as well.
Yeah.
That's smart. So yeah, even more space. And actually, so again, through the lens of a mountain biker, one thing that, this is inherently a much smaller trailer. So I've talked about in other videos, like where are we putting our like riding clothes and accessories. So that is going to be inherently one of the challenges associated with this trailer, just because this is actually, aside from the Hike 100, this is the smallest sort of, couples trailer that we've looked at. This is going to be more than appropriate, for holding, kind of like spare riding clothes and that sort of thing. But what you'll probably want to invest in is some portable totes. So like the Thule round trip bike duffel, which I've done a review on. You can get like a his and hers, and that's just something that you could kind of move around with you, keep in the trailer, or kind of bring with you when you go to the trailhead. So there's less storage, but I think this trailer still hits so many of the other boxes that I couldn't not show it to you. I wouldn't think about like the mountain bike clothing storage as a deal breaker given the rest of the package. So
it is a 12-volt TV in this one.
Oh, that's cool.
So most TVs and RVs are 110, so you need to be plugged into your shore power to run.
Right.
This one will run off your battery bank.
And actually, here's a good segue, talking about the 12-volt TV and the power inverter. Now, we know sometimes this was, you said a 1,000 watt?
1,000 watt inverter.
1,000 watt
yeah.
inverter, okay. When operating off that inverter, are all plugs or only a couple of choice plugs actually going to be powered?
All plugs in this
plugs.
particular unit, yes.
Okay, very cool, very cool. All right, that's good to know.
Yep.
So if you're trying to charge, your laptop or whatever, or run, kitchen accessories or something like that, some of these trailers, there's only going to be like one or two specific plugs. So yeah, still 1,000 watts. So it wouldn't be enough to run the microwave, for example.
Or air conditioner.
Or air conditioner. Yeah. You'd be looking at, minimum probably, I'd say actually 3,000.
3,000 is going to be easy because that gives you 30 amp power. However, I have seen 2,000 watt inverters run one or the other at one time. So pick your poison.
Maybe even with like a soft start or something like that added to your air conditioner.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. But no, that's really good to know. And actually it's Go Power too as well. So
it is.
Yep. I think actually just learned this recently. Go Power is owned by Dometic, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
I think they share a website. Maybe they're sister companies. Maybe I'm totally making this up. I don't know. Somebody let me know in the comments down below.
Yeah.
And actually this is really nice to see too as well. Actually, this is really deep, surprisingly. I don't know why I thought it wouldn't be that deep.
Yeah, it's one single area, but 3 different locations to access it from.
No, that's really good. So yeah, so plates, cups, bowls, some food, maybe more food storage, maybe some more bike stuff. Still, again, no compartment quite deep enough for helmets, but then, and then we've got the...
so yeah, there's actually a removable table from behind here.
Okay.
So this comes out to give you your little... space out dining area in front,
and it would just stay behind the sofa for transit purposes, I assume.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that folds out.
This is cool.
Then you do have the rollover jackknife style extra sleeping area. Yes. If you do end up having a guest with you.
That's what I was trying to think of. I've slept on these. They are adequate. At one point, you will definitely get trapped in this crack. However, none of that matters because if you happen to have a guest who has decided to have a couple of beverages, it's always safer to end up in the crack of a jackknife than it is to drive home. So yeah, please drive safely. That's kind of my PSA for today. And something actually I've just thought of with this, you can bring this outside.
You sure can.
Yeah.
Take it wherever you want. It's very lightweight. It's only about 6 or 7 pounds. So
makes sense. Yeah, this would be really good. Like if you're using the outdoor griddle space or barbecue or something like that. Yeah, you bring it outside. You could do like your full, outdoor dining kind of experience. So
yeah, it's awesome.
Wicked. Well, I'd say let's head back out and wrap it up.
Sounds good.
Nice. So that just about wraps things up here at Woody's RV in Edmonton. I have to say a sincere thanks to Craig because he's absolutely been smashing it in terms of like his product knowledge. And I'll just turn it over to you for the last word if you want.
Yeah, well, like I said, we got a lot of different varieties of products here. I think we've got 6 different floor plans of the Flagstaff ePro, along with a lot of other off-grid type style trailers, mainly the Ember RV, brand new manufacturer. They're built for the off-grid. We'll probably even give you a little sneak peek before Colin takes off here. But yeah, we've got over 100 units in inventory right now. So come on by, take a peek around, and hopefully we can find something for you.
Cheers. Awesome.